Hey everybody, welcome to the Lady Charmaine live show, and it's Hot Topics night. You know what night it is. It's Thursday night, and we got another great show for you today. So if you've been following me on my page today, you probably saw some of the hot topics that we're going to be discussing this evening. Is going to be really good. But right now, I want to I'm stumbling over my words right now. But first, I want to acknowledge something that's going on right now in Sacramento. We want our hearts and our prayers to go out to the Stephon Clark family. They're actually doing a march right now in Sacramento at City Hall. So make sure you pray for them. We just want a safe march, safe rally. If you have not heard, he's a young man that was killed on Sunday night here in Sacramento. He was killed by police officers, and everything is still under investigation, but we want to make sure that we keep his family in our prayers. Also, if you want to join in tonight with the hot topics, all you have to do is give us a call at 916-226-9226. We're going to be taking your calls this evening, so we want to hear from all of you. But before we get started, the Lady Charmaine live show is sponsored by Up and Away Travel Services. Make sure you book all your travel arrangements through Up and Away Travel Services. Just go to their website, upandawaytravelservices.com, or you can just call my girl Sherry Brockman at 916-826-6606. And tonight I got my folks in the building. We got none other than we got my husband, Joseph Bassett. What's up?
All right.
My girl, Marie Hutchison.
Hey, everybody.
And we got the hair hustler, Mr. Derek Dennis.
Hustler.
Help me welcome my guest to the show. Now, if you guys been following us tonight on Facebook, I'm sure you guys have probably seen the hot topics that we have posted. One of the hot topics that I posted, and guys, be sure that you join my hot topics group. It's called Hot Topics Real Talk. No chaser.
It goes down in there.
Now, let me put on my other set of eyes so I can read. You know, when a girl's in her 40s, the eyes started doing some things. Now, I did a video. It's called Baby Mama Drama. That's on YouTube. Make sure you go and check it out. My YouTube page is Lady Charmaine TV, and it's called Baby Mama Drama. And I've gotten a lot of response. It has like over 40,000 views. And one viewer that was watching it, she actually sent me a letter, and she wanted some advice. So here it goes. She says, "Hello. I saw your YouTube video about baby mama drama and wanted to reach out because you seem like a woman of wisdom." I'm so touched, y'all. Like a woman of wisdom. And she says, "I am married and have 3 kids with a man who has not yet blended his family and his baby mama and daughter, who is soon to be 8. So he has a daughter that's about to be 8 years old from a previous relationship, and he's also married with 3 children. She says he doesn't see his daughter unless he contacts her. So unless he contacts his daughter, she will not contact him for nothing." She also says, "I asked him, when will I be able to go to the park outing to meet them so we can work on blending our families?" And he responds and says, "We have to wait a while until the timing is right." In his mind, he would rather not ruffle any feathers because A, she was hard to deal with when it came to co-parenting, to where it seems as if he gave up, and sometimes he acted like they did not exist. And then B, she said, which is A, he feels like, she's not asking for child support and taking me to court, so I would rather keep things cool by making y'all separate. It just hurts me because every time he do see his daughter at the park, the kids and I are left behind. And it seems like he's living a double life or something." And she said, "Besides this situation, we get along just fine. What's your advice?" She said, "I want to continue our relationship, but it's bothering me that he doesn't even want to blend his families." Interesting. Now, the reason why this topic was very interesting, because I'd gone through something similar to that, my husband and I, so we wanted to actually share our story. So I have a stepdaughter. Many of you may have probably know by now that I do have a stepdaughter. We've talked about it on the show several times, but I wanted my husband to speak to her from a man's point of view of why he may have done this. So I'm going to let my husband speak.
All right. So, well, this situation, again, it definitely rung home with me because I was in a situation where, wanting to see my daughter, dealing with a woman who's difficult to deal with, married with kids, so I know exactly kind of, the situation you find yourself in. One thing, because he's not currently on child support, it's obvious he's trying to maintain, being cordial, keep the woman happy, keep her at bay, not blend the family right away. But in doing that, he's also disrupting his own marriage. And little does he know the impact that's having on his wife. Or maybe he does know, but he may feel that, hey, the wife's going to be there, but this situation, is very volatile. The marriage is more, solidified. We've made vows, she's going to be there, but this woman may not let me see my daughter. She may put me on child support, interrupt the financial situation, cause havoc, take me back and forth to court, so there could be some things that he's trying to avoid. And it doesn't seem like he's willing to risk that by blending the families. And so, that's a situation that, again, every situation is different. But I know when I found myself, but I was paying child support and I still couldn't see my daughter. And the thing is, no matter what you do, you're going to find yourself kind of being manipulated and controlled as long as she hangs that over his head, and so she's pulling the strings and he's married to another woman and causing possibly hurt to his marriage, but she knows she got the strings. She can threaten with child support and threaten to, hey, you're not going to see your daughter. I don't want this. The only way you're going to see her is if, you meet me at this park. It's just you alone. I mean, she's dictating all the rules, and I know how that is because I had a situation where I couldn't bring my daughter home. I had to meet her at the park. I had to meet her at the house. And so, but when I broke that, then I found out that, hey, it caused more peace in my marriage. Yeah, I didn't see my daughter. She did exactly what I thought she was going to do. She kept my daughter from me, et cetera. But, I had to look at two different households. Which household was I'm trying to impress and keep long term? Right. Was I'm trying to keep this situation over here with my baby mama, or do I really want my marriage to succeed? Right. And so I chose my marriage over the situation. So everybody has to make their own decision, but that was mine.
You have anything to add, Derek? You're a male.
Absolutely, and I went through the same thing. My son is 24 now. I went through a custody battle. It was in 1998. That's when all the drama began. And I remember me being in that same situation and being that type of man with my, she's my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time. But then I didn't go that long because I started not to care. And I knew even as a young man, I had rights, And so I would, and the only reason that was happening, because you better not have my baby around that girl. Mm-hmm. You better not have my baby around that girl. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen to me if I didn't have a girlfriend or I wasn't in a relationship. It was about that girl. Mm-hmm. And so that's what it was always tied to. And I knew that it wasn't me. It was a choice that I made to be happy with someone else that wasn't her. And so I had to deal with the repercussions of that. And so I chose to go to court because they were keeping my son from me. Like when I go, and then we had a weird situation because we all worked together. I worked with their parents, her parents. And so, needless to say, after we broke up, she made it a little bit uncomfortable for me. So I decided to go ahead and leave. Right. And then when I left, that's when they started to keep my son from me. When I would go pick him up on the weekends and, just no, you can't have him, or he's with my mother, my grandmother, and then when I get there, nobody's there, or they're not answering the door. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I went to go downtown to get my rights. But then they threw a monkey wrench in it because back in 1998, of course I was young man, I was smoking weed at the time, and so was my child's mother. So they knew I almost had my son, and it went to trial. It was a long case, and so I went to trial. I didn't have no support from neither side of my family. Nobody stood with me. I was a young man standing on my own. No, my mother or father didn't support me. So July 15, 1998, that's when I lost my son, and I was there. And then I'll never forget, they stood up in court after the judge said, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm about to give this young man his son because you guys clearly are being vindictive. And do you know what they said? They stood up in the court and told the judge, and the judge said, is there anything else you want to say? Well, we know he smokes weed. And they knew that was a monkey wrench. Everything. And so that changed the game like that. Wow. Parenting classes, counseling, drug testing. And so as a young man, I was disturbed going to having my son every weekend from Friday all the way to Tuesday when I'll drop him off at the daycare, not even at their house because it would just be, horrible. So we made a decision to drop him off at the daycare. And it turned into a horrible situation and me being detached from my son. Yeah. And that's where we at today, 24, 43, detached, like most fathers and sons. So it's just a sad situation, and nine times out of 10, like I said, it's always because that girl.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta not have them around that girl.
Yeah.
Right. And that, like the situation when my husband was talking, I'm not going to let another woman run my house. That's what I wasn't going to do. Only
right.
one woman runs my house, and that's me.
you. Yeah.
But that's what she was trying to do. So she thought she could run my house through my husband because my husband was her daughter's father. But that's it. He's your daughter's father, but that's my man.
Yeah.
So this was about to get straight real quick, like
Handle it.
real quick. You got to get that straight and real,
chop
and
for it,
real
right.
high.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I got papers.
That's
you know
the
what I'm
support
saying?
he needed, though. 'Cause,
Right.
You know, you were standing for
Right.
yourself, but you was actually still supporting your husband.
Right.
But don't think we didn't get into it over that, didn't we, babe?
yeah.
We've
Yeah,
had
that's
many,
part of it.
as we call them,
Yeah.
heated fellowships. We've had
Sure.
plenty.
We got into it.
Yeah.
We got into it, and it wasn't easy. I don't want to make it seem. I don't want to trivialize it by making it seem like, oh, it's just easy. I just won't see her. No, it hurt. It hurt, and she knew it would hurt, and I had to go to God over that hurt. You know, not seeing my daughter. You know, and I chose my wife. I chose my family, but at the same time, I miss my daughter. You know, but I had to accept in my heart that, you know what, I may not see her for a long time. And that was the case. I didn't see her for a long time, but I had to mend things with my family, spend time with my kids, and focus on what was important, my wife and my kids. And so, you know, she knows whoever is in that situation. Unfortunately, the women kind of have that. You know, they have the court on their side. They got the kid, you know, in possession, physical custody. You know, they got the child support that they can leverage, which is okay. The issue was never about child support. It was the fact that I wasn't able to see my daughter, and
that
she
part.
held that over my head. Like, you know, do this, jump over here, jump over there. Now duck. You know, I'm doing all this, you know, running around. It's
Bobbing
like,
and
oh,
weaving.
strings, bobbing and weaving, trying to see my. And then at the end of the day, I still didn't see her.
All that.
Still didn't see her. So, you know, it's just, you know, but it was not an easy situation. But obviously, he's torn, but he has to make a decision. You can't please two.
Right.
You can't be in two different places at the same time trying to please two women. You got to make a choice.
And then the siblings, what he doesn't realize is the siblings are going to suffer because they're growing up not knowing one another.
Oh yeah.
And so because he's spending so much time with the other one, then the other children start getting jealous because they want to see their other sibling as well. So he doesn't realize that he's literally keeping a family apart.
Yep.
And so he's going to have to make a decision with the wife and the other children at home. It does seem like he's living a double life, and he doesn't realize that because he's trying to keep peace with another woman, but yet you tearing up the woman that you made vows with.
Right.
Because you're allowing her to run your house. So hopefully we kind of answered her question. I want to just thank her. I don't want to say her name because who knows? He might be watching. So we don't want to. So we don't want to put his business out there. But also, we have another topic. If you want to call in, give us a call 916-226-9226. If you want to chime in on the situation, or if you have a similar situation that you want to talk about, please feel free to join us on the show. But right now, Michael Baisden is another radio personality, and he had posed a question on his show. Now, I did not see the question, but there was a woman who did a video in response to his question, which I did see. Now, I don't know what the actual question was, but this is what she had to say in her video. So what I did, I typed it out. She had said to him that she had met a gentleman during the time that she was getting ready to have a biopsy to see if she had breast cancer. She said this man went to every doctor's appointment with her, and she did end up with breast cancer in both her breasts. So she had both her breasts removed. She said he washed her up. He took care of her. He even paid her bills. And then later she found out he had other women. She said, yes, she was hurt. She was devastated that he had other women. But she said she even stopped talking to him for a little while. But then she said she had to look at the bigger picture because there was no other person that would have done the things for her that this man had done. She said their relationship started back up. She said he treated her like a queen. So what she did was, so she ended up staying with the man, and she knows what society says. She said when society tells you that basically, you know, you should leave that man if he has other women. But she said this man treated her so well. And not only did he treat her well, he treats all his other women well. So why would she leave a man that treats all of his women well? So here's my question to you, Marie, and all the ladies that are listening out there. Because he is good to you and treats you like a queen, but he has other women. Ladies, would you stay knowing that you have no future with this man? And men, what advice would you give to this woman, Marie?
Go ahead, Marie.
Yeah.
Knock it out the park,
Go
Marie.
ahead, Marie.
Yes.
You know, I rode that train for a minute with a gentleman, and I knew he had other women, and it was this weird dynamic because I called it staying in my lane. I'm gonna keep it real right now because I'm gonna say this because I know a lot of women are living this, and I'm about to bust us out. We going down together. No, but seriously though, it's like the dynamic relationship was I met him, good guy, good to me, made me happy, caught me at a moment where I was down, her cancer, me just struggling through some things in life, caught me in the moment, and it was a little happy place for me. Go places, do stuff, hang out, all the little things. Then we weren't together. We weren't together. You know what I'm saying? So, but I called it staying in my lane, right? So, when I hear her saying that, when I hear her talking about, I decided to go back and be with him, and I'm like, man, she's that broken to where she would go ahead and be with somebody who will never choose her, and I say never. I don't care what nobody say. Well, maybe he'll, lean to her. No, he'll never pick her because he knows her position and she knows her own position. And then when she's accepted that position, he locked her in to that position. She don't go no higher than that. If you're willing to do this, stay there.
Wow.
That's good because that's helping me.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of that position. Now, you know what? I would be sitting there wanting to call the person, but I can't because I know he's with the other person.
Wow.
Or I can't come over in that moment. I'll call, hey, let me call you back. Because he's with another person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's jacked up. Now, he was there for her when he was, that was good. I'm glad he was there for her. But for her to lay her eggs there or to rest there in that, she's not a happy person.
Right.
Happy person.
At the end of the day, when she's by her, I'm telling y'all the truth. At the end of the day, when I would lay my head down, let me talk about me. When I would lay my head down, loving this person, I loved him.
Of course.
But I had to just keep that to myself. That's not fair, right?
Right.
And that's a horrible, horrible feeling and place. And a lot of women right now are doing it.
Hi, you're tuned in to Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, hi. I am Candace calling from Elk Grove.
Hi, Candace. How are you?
Hi, Candace.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your comment?
Well, I just wanted to say, listening to Derek, who is my hairstylist. I've been with him for like 21 years.
That's right. The hair hustler.
Okay.
Hi, Derek. And I was listening to Derek's story, and I do know it very well. Also with the guy over there talking as well. And I just want to say that listening to you guys, I think you guys did the right thing. I must say that you guys did the right thing. Only thing that what I always see in the outcome is the kids get hurt in the end.
Right.
As a single mother, raising her man child all by herself.
Doing a great job, by the way, I must say.
You deal with fathers who don't even deal with their child. And it's not because any drama came from the mom's side. It's just that they chose not to be a part of the child's life.
Right.
And in the end, my child always gets hurt in the end when it comes to situations. Who is now about to become 13, a young man, and it's hard when you wish that the father was involved.
Right.
And I must say, when my son had turned 4, his dad did choose to get married. And when he got married, my son became the bottom of his list as far as to be there for him. What do you do as on my end as a single mother, when all you wanted to do is have your child be with their father, have that relationship. How do you deal? Because and Derek knows my story really well, and Derek helps me when I have come across an obstacle when it comes to my son or with my son's father. Derek has really kept me level-headed and really been there for me. But it's like, as a single mother, when you really don't want to, you would never ever try to come between maybe them and if they got married, because even though me and him never worked out, I never ever wanted to come between him and his child. I never wanted that. I always felt like my son needed always should have his father.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do when you try to do all you can and it's just not there? And I see how my son hurts every day.
Wow.
Because there's no male in his life.
Candace, real quick, can you turn down, I think it's your phone or your computer, because we're getting the feedback from either your phone or your computer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Let me come out of that.
Okay.
Okay. How's
okay.
that?
Okay. What I'll do, my husband, since he's another man on the panel and he has, a child outside of our marriage, I'll go ahead and let him talk to you about that.
First of all, I just want to commend you on being the type of woman and mother that wouldn't get involved, wouldn't get in the middle of that relationship, that would encourage that relationship and want that relationship. I mean, that's all a man can really ask for, is that, they have a relationship with their son, and without the interference or, complications that I've experienced and that Derek experienced. That being said, it's really up to him to want to have a relationship with his son, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't. But as a single mom, what you would have to do now is find other male role models and situation, maybe whether it's sports or get your son involved where he can see other dads and maybe be mentored. There's Big Brother, Big Sister, Big Brother programs. I know when I was single, I was a part of the Big Brother program where I would actually go to, I had a mom that was single and she had a teenager, and I would take him out and do things. Just try to get your son involved where he's around other men that are positive, that can speak to his life, especially, coaches or things of that sort. But it is really unfortunate that his own father doesn't want to get involved, but it's not really much you can do to make that happen if he doesn't want that to happen on his own. Derek?
Right, and I've done that, and believe me, I'll say I'm one of those mothers who would never, when I tell you never, I will never make his father or make a father choose either that next woman or his child. I would never do that.
Right.
I would never do that. Only thing I've said before when he was married, I just told his wife at the time, treat my child as if they were your own.
Right.
Don't mistreat my child just because he came prior to you coming in his dad's life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how I've always been. But it just as myself, all single mothers, don't deal, put their child's father through that trauma, and then so for me, it's just like, okay, so here I am, one who doesn't do that or will never have that type of drama, but yet I'm dealing with that type of drama.
Right.
I just, because my son doesn't have their father in their life like they should.
Right.
And then again, in the end, he's the one that's getting hurt. I just want to say that when I hear all this kind of drama like this, when it comes to the child's mother getting mad or telling the kid's father, oh well, they can't see you because you're with her, it just kind of just like boils me, because it's like, wow, you're not even seeing that this child is hurting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I always think. It's like, how can you be that, self-centered that that you're not even seeing that you know it's the child hurting in the end.
Right.
You know what,
So,
Candace? You know what I wanted to say to you too, because you had asked the question, and I think in my head it sounded like, in my head I took it as a twofold question. You asked, "What can you do as far as your son?" and Brother Joe gave some excellent answers to
Yes,
that. But
he did.
Yes,
well,
he did.
I wanted to speak to you directly as a single, because I'm a single mother too, and I have a son. And I know you're probably already doing this, but I want to encourage you to, because at some point your son and your son and his father are gonna have an altercation. And the main thing you want to do with your son is to make sure he's in a good place when that happens. And you sound like an excellent mother, so I know he's getting that.
Yes,
but I
she
think
is.
that's one thing that would kind of help you, kind of, especially when your son's going through that. Where's my dad? Where's my dad? You know, and those are the opportunities and time to, and just, even if it's not a well situation, just speak well into that situation, because you want him to be mentally ready for when his dad does come into his life. He may
Right.
be 20, he may be whatever the age, you know, you still want them to be ready for that. Because I told my son's father when he was little, when he was being crazy, I said, let me tell you something. You can feel however you feel about me, but at the end of the day, how you treat your son is how your lives are going to be.
Right.
You and
Yes.
his connection is
Yeah,
going
that's
to be.
good.
How you act from this day on, that's what he's going to see, and that's how your relationship is going to be. It's not going to be because of me, because I have nothing bad to say about you.
Right.
good.
I'm not going to throw you under
Right.
the bus concerning him. If he hears anything about you
Right.
from me, it wouldn't be nothing negative, because I know the responsibility I have as a mother, that when this connection happens, he won't have all that static. He'll be able to see the truth
Right.
and deal with it.
Right.
As
Right.
it is.
You know
That's
what I'm
good.
saying? So
That's
that's
good.
My son knows to this day. He knows for a fact that I'm not the reason.
right.
You know,
Right.
and,
That's good.
And he started to see it for the last 2 or 3 years now. Okay, you know, this is like he's choosing not to call me, or he's choosing not to spend time with me. It's not because of mom.
Right.
He does know that.
Yeah, I went through that.
He definitely knows that, because I would never be that mother that would come between a child and their father. I would never do that. I just cannot do that. And
That's
it's all
awesome.
based on me coming up without my real father.
Right.
Based on
Right.
feelings
Yes, ma'am.
that my mom had towards my father. You know, she kept him from me because of how he may have hurt her.
We can
So
relate.
I took that as like I
Yes,
would
ma'am.
never do that to my children, regardless of how me and their father ends up. I would never do that to my child.
Right.
So, you know, as a single mother, you know, I can stand firm and say I'm not one of those who would ever put that drama on the child's father just because me and him are not together, or just because he moved on and is with somebody
That's
else.
crazy, right?
And, you know, I just
That's
want
good.
to tell.
It's crazy.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Well,
Yeah,
Candace,
so
I want to
I
say
just wanted to say that.
thank you. I know we got to move on, but I want to say thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Candy.
Oh, and thank you guys for hearing me out. This is my first time hearing this show, and
All
I
right.
am loving it. I need to be up hearing it every time y'all on. 'Cause
Every Thursday.
This is good.
All right. Well,
Thank
you're doing a
you.
wonderful job. You're doing a wonderful job.
Yes, you
Thank you
are.
for
Yeah,
calling.
did nobody
Thank
tell
you.
you?
We
Thank
love
you. Bye
All
bye.
right, take care, Derek. Love you.
I love you back.
Well, if you want to give us a call at 916-226-9226. If you want to chime in on the conversation, even if you have a similar situation, call in and share your story with us. I like the fact that she said that she does not try to keep her son away from his
Yeah,
father.
yeah, that's
And like my mom and my dad, you know, my mother left my father. My father was abusive, but my mother never once tried to keep me away from my father. The relationship I had with my dad was all because of him. My mother wanted me to see him. My mother wanted him to call me. She wanted him to have a relationship with me, because the issue that she had with him was that was her issue. And one thing I love that my mother instilled in me, she would always say, me and your dad didn't get along, but he loved you. So if I didn't know anything, I knew my
good.
dad loved me. Me and your dad didn't get along, but he loved you.
That's good.
And so the relationship that I had is what he formed.
Right.
Isn't had nothing to do with my mom. But one thing I always knew, I grew up knowing that my dad loved me. They didn't get along,
Right.
but he loved me.
Excellent. Yeah, that's
You-
good.
and I think that that's one thing that's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it hurts me when I see what moms do to their kids and keeping, you know, no, let him, if he's going to be a dirty dog, let him be the dirty dog and show the child. Don't you interfere in that relationship.
Right.
And I'm going to add moms and grandmothers, because in my situation, the mother died, but the grandmother was the one who was pivotal in making this disconnection happen. Because during the court case, everything went back on her because, But I wanted to say this with Candace. Candace is an amazing mother.
So she sounds like
I just marvel at the way she raises her son. And she is
awesome.
absolutely right. She is
That's
one of the
what's up.
rare ones, like your mother, who did not hold that child away from their father.
That's
he made
good.
a stupid decision to say, no, I don't want to be there for him.
Wow.
And then on top of this, which I disagree with, but Candace, I've never seen this before. She said, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. She took him off of child support. Off. So I said, Candace, for what? What? He needs to have some responsibility. And she made perfect sense to me. She said, why would I do that and have to look and at a receipt or this $20 coming in when I do way more for my son than that? She said, I don't even want to see his name anywhere around
Wow.
me if he can't
Wow.
step up to the plate and physically be there for his son.
Wow.
Wow, that's
So, I mean,
amazing.
that was like,
Okay.
Okay.
it was just amazing to see.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's,
She doesn't
that's
sound like an
rare.
angry
Very
person
rare.
either.
That's
She's
rare.
not.
Amen. Well, hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh,
This is Elena. How you doing?
Oh, good. Your phone is a little
How you
muffled.
doing?
Good. Your phone is muffled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just a minute. Let me see. Is it better?
Okay, that's better. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay. Yes. Many a times, sometimes when the men.
Okay, ma'am, what's your name and where are you calling from? Ma'am, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hi. Thank you.
Elena's the name in Sacramento.
Okay.
Hey, Elena.
Okay. So I was saying that many a times men, when they can't have the woman,
Mhm.
they take it out on the child. And so they don't be bothered with the child. This has happened many a times. Also, was the dad in the daughter's life or the son's life, whatever person you're talking about? Because a lot of times it's repeated bad behavior. If the dad didn't have a father figure, then they're repeating that same behavior with the child.
Well, that I don't know if the father had his parents in his life. Right now, we just know that he has a daughter from a previous relationship and he's married with 3 children, but he doesn't want to blend the families together. He goes and see his daughter from a previous relationship by himself without his wife or his other 3 children.
It sounds like he's still telling the prior mother they're going to get back together, or he still have a relationship with them. He doesn't want the child to see the affection from the wife. This is just based off of similar situations I've dealt with people who have had situations and wonder why the dad is not bringing the child around, or why he can't get to know the other parent. It's because when it comes out, he is lying to the both of them. He's lying to the wife, even though he's with the wife, but he's also lying to the child's mother as well, telling them they're going to get back together.
And you know what?
I totally
That's a good point.
disagree.
I mean, that could be a good point sometime if the guy, I don't know, because I know he said he's not doing it because the woman is not charging child support. Now, who knows? That might be what he's telling his wife. But if he's going to the park with the baby mama and the daughter, sometimes you just never know.
But you got to think, this man is in the middle of the baby mom, and the wife. So and sometimes you got to.
It's really hard to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want to thank you for calling in. It's kind of hard to hear you on the phone, but I want to thank you for calling in. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, but okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Well, when she gave the list, it immediately sounded like, don't disturb this groove. He don't want to shake that boat.
Right.
Because when I first responded, I was like, somebody a trip. Because when I first read it, I was like, somebody is tripping. And y'all can agree with me. Y'all can't take it. Y'all don't like to see no women fighting. Y'all don't like to deal with all that fussing and the petty stuff that we do. Y'all don't know how to deal with that. So y'all rather not deal with that. So that's basically what he doing. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want it because I already know she don't like you. Every time I come to the park, that's what we talking about, how much she don't like you. And I don't want to take that back here but he not thinking about how he's the 8-year-old. She 8.
Yeah, and see, I do agree that could be why he just want to say, hey, just you stay in your corner.
It could be it.
You stay in your
Yeah.
corner. We just keep this going. It's been going for 8 years.
Yeah, he 8 years strong.
10 more, and we
Yeah.
cool.
right. He doing 8 strong. That's pretty good.
8 strong.
That's pretty good.
But at some point, I mean, that's going to cause hurt.
Yeah,
but
it
she's
already is.
the baby mama is controlling the
she
situation.
is.
She
She's
is.
dictating the rules.
Right.
She's saying, hey, meet me here, meet me there.
And he
keep this-
eggshelling.
And so that's
Eggshelling
that,
all
that doesn't
over
make
that
it right.
situation.
I mean, that's probably the best he can come up with right now. But that don't make it right.
No,
True that.
but 8 years strong. That's pretty good. To keep some folks
So,
separated.
okay, fellas. So, at what point should he put his foot down?
He should have been put his foot
Yeah.
down.
He
should,
I just
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
he's just
it's-
in the middle of everything,
Okay.
It's just hard for him. He got the baby, he got the baby mama, and he got the new girlfriend.
The wife.
No, that's the wife.
Sorry, the wife, the
The
baby
wife.
mama, and the baby. So
Yeah.
he been pulled in 3 ways, trying to make 3 individuals happy. And at the time, I don't ever believe. I don't know. I just don't feel like he would be. In some situations, it might be, but I just think he's trying to keep the peace to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
So his child, bottom line, would not be taken from him.
I
Because like you
see
said,
that.
the baby mama
I see that. And but he needed to put his foot down a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
at this point, I think you're not going to make her happy. She can keep you like this forever.
Yeah,
So you just need to get a second job, get ready for the child support, get ready for you not seeing your daughter for a while. I mean, just prepare yourself because that will happen when you put your foot
Absolutely.
down.
Right.
She gonna feel like, oh, you
Question.
cutting things off now.
got a
Oh, you
backbone.
now you standing up to me. Guess what? You're not gonna see your daughter. You're gonna pay child support. I'm gonna take you to court every year. So he needs to just say, okay, no problem. I'm still with my wife. I'm gonna be happy with that because once she see you happy, it's gonna burn her up.
Let me tell you something. He good because she ain't asking.
Yeah, check.
Not yet.
Right.
Oh, she will.
But he good though. So far, he.
But how good is he being though?
Right,
that's another question. How
Yes,
good
sir.
are you being? What
Yes,
are
sir.
you really giving? Are you really giving up just the time? Or you taking that?
Right.
You going out to lunch? Are you going out sitting in dinners and acting like a family?
Timeshare.
Are you going to
All that.
Disneyland and
I'm thinking-
amusement
that's
parks?
what I'm thinking.
And are you taking family pictures?
Yes.
For real, what's going on?
I mean, what is
Instagram
going on?
page, all
I mean,
that.
it's not. It made. Who knows? I mean, she not there, so
True that.
don't know.
Oh, that's good. So y'all took it there, huh?
I'm
Yes.
just saying.
No,
I mean,
for real.
for 8 years, that's a long time
That's
to
a
keep things
long
going.
Time
Oh,
and energy. That brother probably ain't got gray hair. What do you look like, girl? What your man look like?
Oh wow, that was good. Y'all went all the way there.
I'm just
had
saying.
to,
Okay,
'cause
so
that's real.
if you want to chime in on this conversation, give us a call at 916-226-9226. Do you think that brother is right to leave his wife and kids at home while he goes and spends time with his baby mama and his baby at the park? They doing family time and no one else can come just to try to keep the peace. Is he really keeping the peace? That's the question.
For him, it is.
Oh, I guess for him it is keeping the peace.
I don't think he had peace.
Nah, he
He tossing every night.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Hoping his phone ain't ringing. He gotta turn his phone off every night because she calling. I'm
For
sure.
real.
You didn't text me good night.
Changing parks on him and everything.
Right.
Moving every
All right.
See, you guys are a mess. Now, before the caller called in, how much do you desire to be in a relationship to literally put yourself second? I was talking earlier about a young lady who ended up meeting a man, and then she ended up being diagnosed with breast cancer. He was there for her, paid her bills, took great care of her, did everything for her. Then she found out that he was in a relationship with other women. She ended up breaking up with him for a little while. Then she realized, well, she don't know any other man that would have treated her this good. So she decided to stay with him because she said he treated her that good and he treats all his other women that good. So here was the question, because ladies, because a man treats you good, treat you like a queen, what would you do, right? So then Marie, she began to talk to let us know that she was in a situation. So you continue on with your situation.
No, look, right? No, but as far as she's concerned too, like she was like, he was there for me, and she continued to stay, with him or whatever. Second. It's not a good place. It's not a good place. So what? he did all that for you. So what? You know, that he took care of you. That was happening to me too. Like you said, go back to my story. So that was happening with me. And I put myself in that position. And I rode that train for a minute. And it was good because I was broken. Because I'm in a different place now, so I talk about it a little different. But when I was in it, I thought I was cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was okay when we were together. But I was going through moments where the other chicks were over. And I could, or he kicked me to voicemail when I would call. Mm-hmm. I can't talk, but text me. You can't talk on the phone, and I had to chill. I couldn't come at him because number one, I'm not his woman.
Right.
Because he ain't made me his woman. And number two, I'm in my lane.
Mm-hmm. You
understand? You feel what I'm saying?
The lane that you accepted.
Right.
Exactly.
You accepted
the lane that I accepted.
You were lane number 3.
Yeah.
And you knew it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I played my rules so good, I became number 1 in the lane.
Oh, okay. You was moving over.
And that's right. And that's the point. The lady on here, she talking. Well, it's cool. But at the end of the day, when those times she accepted that position because when he left, she was lonely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She was by herself. She wasn't getting all that pampering. So she was like, you know what? I'd rather have that than be alone.
And truth be told, though, most men know when a woman is lonely.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Most men know because there's certain behaviors, there's certain things that a woman does to let you know that she's okay with that.
Yes, sir. And a good player works it too.
Yeah.
He works it. And the good player I was dealing with, he worked it.
Yep.
He worked it, and I was falling in love with the idea of us, and my emotions were involved. So if you think you're emotionless, you're lying. Even though you're in your lane, there's so many emotions that swirl that you can do nothing with because this person has not chosen you to be the one.
Right.
So what are those nights when she's hurting and she's got her chemo pain and all that kind of stuff? Where he at? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. She's got to go, oh, he might be with another woman. How fair is that?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So the lifestyle, whether she, how she glamorized it, because I saw the video, she's like, and so... but he, even though he's with the other one, he treats us all like queens. But you still not the queen he's picking.
Right.
I got tired of being picked and never chosen. I got tired of being picked.
That's good.
But never chosen.
Ooh, that was good.
I'm a nurturer. I'm a nurturing kind of person. My job will let you know that because I work for the elderly. I'm a nurturing person. And a lot of guys that I would meet would see that and tag into that. And they would try to ride that out on me. And I would let them ride that out on me and then never get chosen.
Right.
Now my question for you, Marie, why did you even allow yourself to be in a position like that?
Because, first of all, I didn't see a real relationship. I didn't grow up with a real one. So I didn't have a father around. I didn't, all the women in my family were not really married, weren't married. Some were dysfunctional, so I never saw a functional relationship, number one, because that does play part into that type of behavior. Right. So then I learned that guys thought I was cute. So I worked that. And then I learned how to manipulate back. No, seriously, then I learned how to manipulate back. And I saw I can get more with that. But then the broken part of me kicked in. Bam. And then I started being promiscuous. I started using that. But then I started changing and realized I wanted to be loved. But now I'm in this lifestyle of living a certain kind of way. So I'm chasing love anywhere I can get it. Breaking my own heart.
Wow.
You know what I'm
deep.
saying?
Yeah.
Scarring my own self. Because my mom was a she taught me things. My mom, she would sit down and talk to me and tell me stories and experiences. So I wasn't ignorant of what I was doing. But my father wasn't there. So I didn't have that role model to know that I'm daddy's little girl. So I'm constantly looking for I never called a man daddy. I never put him in that position because I was too busy trying to be anyway. So but right. But I was broken, and then you could become an adult, and certain things you go through, just you put up guards, you put up walls, you start dysfunctioning so hard, you start living a certain kind of way, and it becomes normal, and you think it's okay, but the whole time inside I'm screaming. I'm screaming, I don't want to be like this. Why am I doing this? Why am I traveling down this road? And I just had to start unpacking bags in my life to understand why I was functioning like I was. But I was broken.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And any moment I can get from a man was just enough. And I would accept that. It would end. I would cry, get over it. A layer of force, a hard force would grow, a brick would grow. Then the next relationship, ride that out, never get chosen, and another layer. And I started realizing I'm getting hard in my heart. Not only am I getting hard in my heart, I'm continuing to stay in this behavior because I'm comfortable in this dysfunction. Then I started getting scared because now I want to get married. But I can't get married if I'm out here like this. I started having to deal with my drama, and I had to start dealing with my emotions. I had to start dealing with my body and my mind because I was broken. That's the only thing I can say. And any woman who any woman or man, because we're men out, we all, broken. and broken. And if you're functioning out of that, and if you're in your lane with somebody, if you're playing second best to somebody, you're functioning out of a dysfunction. You're not going to get what you want.
Right.
You're not going to get marriage. You're not going to get that love that you need. It's not going to be consistent because that wasn't consistent. Being in my lane, the love for 30 minutes, love for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a very dysfunctional behavior, and it really does affect you. And if you don't catch that, you caught in that cycle for a long time, and then you'll pick the wrong man. That's right. And it has levels to it. You'll meet a guy who just dog you. Then you meet a guy who'll dog you, do something crazy to you. Then you meet a guy start hitting you. It's levels to that thing. The last person I dealt with busted the tires on my car. You know what I'm saying? Stalking me, doing a bunch of crazy stuff. You can't, when you function or dysfunction, that's what you pick.
Right.
Wow.
You said something that really was deep when you said that how you just take anything. You out of your brokenness, you're making these selections and making these choices, and how you never seen a relationship like, just a functional, relationship. And even today, it's hard to see a functional relationship. I mean, now we got so used to friends with benefits.
Yes,
we got so
sir.
used to just having everything casual and temporary. And, this is, and women are okay with that. And the dudes are more okay with that.
Yep.
And so it's like, okay, so when are we actually going to see a functional relationship? And it's like, it's almost like a myth now. You see it on TV.
Right.
It's scary.
It's like a unicorn. It's that
That mystical thing.
that
wow.
Sasquatch.
I
That's
agree.
something different. Isn't it? You see a family functional, a husband, wife, kids, be like, look at that.
Right.
What's wrong? What's going on?
But it is so true, because my daughter, even at her school, one of her counselors said to her, she was talking about her siblings at the house, and she was like, same mom, he was like, same mom, same dad. And she was like, yeah, but it's and he's black too.
absolutely.
Right,
But to see, a couple being married for almost 20 years, it seems like that's not the norm anymore.
Right,
It's
right,
not.
right.
And that goes for any race, because my daughter grew up, she went to Phoebe Hearst, and it was like, a melting pot. In
Right.
California, we not in the South, we in a melting pot. So we try to get our kids in the best school, and
Right.
they end up
Right.
That's a good
having
school.
all kind of friends, So she had white, black, Mexican, Asian, and guess what? We would be the parents that take them to San Francisco, because we wanted to do that with our daughter.
Right.
So on
Right,
birthdays, they would roll with us, and the parents trusted us enough. Here we is, these black parents that stereotypically, you better
Right.
not go, oh my God.
Right,
no.
right.
But it was so beautiful to see those kids, those girls able to go on trips with us, and it was like 8 to 10 sometimes.
Wow.
So,
That's
and
what's
then
up.
guess what? They would have the little slumber parties, and we'd be driving in the car, and they'll be like, they're so honest, like, Darius, you're so lucky to have a dad and a mom. Wow,
That
my
would break
mom.
my heart, right?
It did. I was
Yeah.
in this front
Yeah.
seat just like, wow, look at us.
Yeah.
And that made me even want to try harder in my
Right,
make
right.
it last even
Yeah.
longer than 19 years.
That's it.
Because
That's it.
we had something special. It was surpass us and just our relationship. It was the foundation that we were building for
Right,
her,
right.
and showing her an example of what a black family could be,
Mm-hmm,
and these little white girls and Mexican girls and Asian girls.
Right, right,
It's a
right.
beautiful thing.
It becomes a relationship becomes at some point, it takes on more of a meaning than just you two.
Yes.
It begins to have a foundation for your kids because they have something to look back on, and then it sets a foundation for them. Because I know my daughters. I would hope my daughters, when they go out to date, they're not just picking the first thing that comes out of brokenness. They're saying, wait a minute, I about it. My mom and dad, they love each other. We're not just together, we're in love with each other, and show that, have no problem showing affection in front of our kids so they can have some kind of an example of what love looks like. They don't see me hitting on her, yelling at her, putting her down. But no, they have an example, and it's just an awesome responsibility as a dad to be able to maintain that, because it's not like they haven't seen us fight and have arguments, and
They need to see that.
but they also seen us make up, and so they seen us work through some stuff. Not just she leave and be gone, and I'm leaving and not back in weeks.
Man.
They haven't seen they seen us stay in the same house, work things out. But to Marie's point, if you don't see that, then you may be picking out of just brokenness and loneliness. Just any old thing, for temporary relief. It's almost like taking an aspirin just to get the pain away.
Right.
But sooner or later, it's going to wear off.
Amen.
And it does.
Sure do.
And
there.
it does. I've met many cats, and I'm like, what was I thinking? Oh my God. And then you won't go away? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to expose myself, because I was living like a lot of guys out here and quit it. I was doing that.
Wow.
I wasn't a chick that stuck around.
Wow, Marie. She said, look.
I wasn't. I'm being so real.
Why
was
is
the
that? Is it because of your brokenness?
I just didn't. Yeah, and then you want to go control me. That was another thing. You know what I'm saying? So I had them two things working together. So I'm up you before you up me. I'm gonna get at you before you get at me. So I was kind of functioning like that, because I can control my pain. Still a dysfunction. See what I'm saying? It was still a dysfunction. You not gonna hurt me first. You might get me, but I'm gonna get some in before you get me.
I'm gonna get a couple licks.
You gon' like me before I walk away, before I like you.
Wow. Girl.
That's crazy, huh? But that's how I would function. And I had a lot of cats, a lot of guys that liked me because of that cold action.
Cold.
He just got at me. Yeah, and I'm still gonna keep getting at you. And I'm not even being funny. I swear. My friends will tell you, Kashina and them, they'll tell you Marie's a cold piece. And I'm like, was I really? But I would, because it was functioning out. You not gonna get me first. I know I'm not gonna leave happy, but we
You ain't gonna be happy either, because you lost me.
Well, not that you lost me, but I know that you don't love me, and I know that you're not in this for me as a person. So that's where I would function from. I had this dangerous way of kind of what I thought was closing off my heart, because that's not a real place either. People say, "I'll close my heart off. I don't care. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Right,
When ain't nobody looking, you thinking about that thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I had convinced myself that I can just shut that part of me off and get you.
Wow.
Because you're not picking me, and I'm tired of y'all using my body. I'm tired of you getting at me like that. So I'm gonna get at you first.
Wow, that's amazing, Marie. Ooh, girl, you got
that
got a story to tell.
So that lady is living the total deception. It's a deception, and it's set up by the enemy, and she's living in it. She's convinced herself and allow her emotions to drive her in that situation. Bottom line.
Wow, that's amazing. Girl, you broke that down.
All the way.
Now, she broke that down. Give us a call, 916-226-9226, because she broke it down. But if you want to chime in on this conversation, give us a call, because we're getting ready to end the show. We would love to hear from you. Have you been in that situation, male or female, been in that situation? Do you know anyone that's been in that situation? Do you know anybody that's broken? What I want you to do right now, take this video and share it onto your page. I know that there was something that was said tonight that one of your friends, one of your partners need to hear tonight. So please share this video right now, like it and share it, and make sure you comment. We will love to hear from you and what you would have to say. If anything that anyone said tonight touched you, let us know. We would love to hear from you. And also be sure to join my Hot Topics page. It's called Hot Topics Real Talk No Chaser. Go right on over there and join the group, and I will accept you. So we have these great conversations right there inside of that group as well. Also, I want to make sure that you guys go over to my Facebook page. It's a Lady Charmaine. Go over there to the fan page and make sure you like it. And I want them to also share their social media pages. If you want to follow my husband, Joe, he on Facebook.
I ain't got no
he ain't
followers.
like that.
I'm just be real
In
with
fact,
you.
don't follow me.
I got the same 300 friends from 10 years ago.
You
so
know 'em.
that's about
They
it.
probably all like your picture.
I ain't got no
Let me
followers.
go ahead and like it. Let me go ahead
Well,
Put out
Marie,
there.
let me go ahead and like his stuff.
Marie, what was your social media handles?
My social media handles is BBW Beautiful Bearded Women. I have a page and a group that's
Yes.
up. And I have my Clap It Up page, which is an inspirational page. My page is set up for people to get on there, talk about what they're going through, and we pray for you. And we clap your
Beautiful.
situation into existence.
All right.
We praise it up for you. So Clap It Up movement. Bye bye bye.
Amen. All right. The Hair Hustler.
And mine is Derek Dennis on Facebook and at Hair Hustler on Instagram. And I can't forget our Double Take Hair Gallery page. So go on there and like all those. Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Now, Derek Dennis is literally a hair hustler. So if you want to get your hair whipped, let them know where they can find you.
She said,
You can
whip,
find
though.
me at 1007 12th Street. That's Sacramento, California, 95814. That's in the heart of downtown. In between J and 12th, right on the corner of 12th Street, right by the FedEx building. So that's
All
your
right.
landmark. Come
Well,
see me.
all right
That should
now.
be good.
And go and get your butter whipped by the Hair Hustler. Again, I want to thank my wonderful guest, my husband, Joe, my
Joe.
girl, Miss Marie Hutchinson, always putting it down. Girl, I just think that she used this show as therapy. God bless
Yes,
her.
for real. Therapy. I'm getting free, y'all.
And also, you can catch my videos on my YouTube page. It's Lady Charmaine TV. You can also tune into the Lady Charmaine live show tomorrow. I'm going to be talking to none other than Angela Stanton. She is one of the stars of From the Bottoms Up, but you may know her from her book. It's called Lies of a Real Housewife. She was the one that put Phaedra Parks on blast.
Wow.
So if you want to hear that interview, make sure you tune in tomorrow.
I must.
All right.
Live right here on Facebook. We're going to be talking about it. And do not forget that the Lady Charmaine live show is sponsored by Up and Away Travel Services. Go to upandawaytravelservices.com and book your vacation today and call my girl, Miss Sherry Brockman at 916-826-6606 and let her know that Lady Charmaine sent you. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.